As a witness of my work as a performer in your clown sessions, what observations would you make in terms of the creative responses to the working conditions and instructions you set?
Okay. What comes to mind immediately are a couple of things I've said to you in those sessions. I can't remember. They may not be relevant now, but they were at the time. Mm-hmm. So I see, and this is what I see with most people, that I see, okay, so, right, this is this person's thing or obsession. This is what they're looking for. This is what they're worried about. This is what they think they need, or this is what they need. And that comes out, and then most times I find myself contradicting it. Again, perhaps because that's just the way of doing it. So with you, it was this, I remember you sort of saying a thing about finding something together. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking, forget together. You can do it on your own. You've got to do it on your own. And then later on, I know you've come back to me and said, hey, yes, this is what, I don't know if it's connected to that, but that finding it for yourself thing. Mm-hmm. So that was interesting. I found that. And the other thing, because we've been doing this stuff which is a lot of running around and so on, and then sometimes I've seen you kind of static, and so that's your response to very active things, is to stay still. That's really fascinating. Mm-hmm. I don't know why. I don't know if you know why. Mm-hmm. Those are my two major impressions of the real what's going on. I mean, without going further into analysing stuff.
Okay. What's interesting about clownery as an art form to you?
It's the only way I can see the world. I haven't come across a way of seeing the world. By world, I mean the universe, everything, our lives, the whole history of everything. I haven't seen another way of seeing things that satisfies me as much. That seems as near to truth as we could ever get, because we don't know what truth is. How the hell do we know? Yeah, I mean, it's like, oh yeah, that's also true. I mean, how do you know? Comes back to the thing of the clowning. I mean, the early title was, or one of the subtitles was, presence. How does clowning obtain presence on stage, and how, or rather, better, how can we be convincing as a performer? And that's often bound up with ideas of truth. Clown actor training. Not always, but Stanislavski talks about truth, artistic truth, truth of the moment. And many actor trainers talk about truth. They may use other words, but what they're talking about is truth. They can use presence if they like, but what they're talking about is, do I believe this? Is it true? Okay, yeah, there are differences between talking about truth and presence, but basically it's the same thing. And I don't feel I can talk about truth. We can, but we just don't know if it's real or not. So with clowning, you don't have this problem. You don't have to be true. False is just as good as true in clowning. That's what's interesting about it. The opposite's always as true as the thing you think is true. So last term we were working on stuff with emotions, very close up on camera, very close up camera stuff, and we're working with false emotions. And first with laughter, and it was so the exercise was, you look at camera and you talk about yourself. So I was born blah blah, and you're just talking about yourself, looking directly at the audience camera, and then every 6 seconds you have to laugh. This is the basic exercise. So I'm going, so hello, my name's John, and I was born in London. Yeah, and the laugh can be false laugh, a fake laugh or a real one. The same as the mirror exercise. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this provokes all kinds of different emotions, or not, in the performer and the audience. Yeah, it doesn't matter whether you get a real laugh or a fake one. It's just as good. You're revealing just as much. And then we use other emotions and other kinds of habitual gestures, which are, and all with the same kind of effect. So, and I find this in improvisation as well, teaching improvisation, it's like, even things like, okay, so being opening your body, literally, opening all, physically your body, that seems very good and creative and will open you, which is what we want. But also, closing your body is also really good. So, you just can't get anywhere because you just keep flipping back. So, in clowning, this is fine, False emotion is just as good as a real one. It reveals everything. Yeah. And that's not false in the sense of an actor might play a role where a character is trying to hide their emotions or is trying to, again, or is ironic. So we've been talking about irony. That's not the same as trying to portray someone who has the inability to communicate, is not able to reveal themselves. That's not the same, I think. So, because in clowning, you're just openly being, it's hard to describe this in words, but you're openly, openly false, if you like.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm a liar. And the I'm a liar is the true bit, but then even then it's not. It's wherever there's something false, there's something true. So wherever there's something true, there's something false. So why look for truth? So this is what interests me about clowning. This seems to be a more true reflection of our universe, as far as we could tell, than looking for truth.